Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Roll Down. My name is Cutler. I'm sporting a fresh fade this evening, but my co host and my friends can't see it. They'll be able to see this later on when it comes back, however. Guys, we're not doing too much on this episode. We've kind of phoned it in. We've got the 17 episodes, and we've decided let's just bring our friends on and talk some shit for a little while. And that's the main aim of this episode. We want to kick back, have a beer, just hang out, get a bit drunk, talk TFT, talk some of the amazing people and friends we've met during the time in the Oceanic and Southeast Asian TFT communities. So I hope you'll enjoy this more chilled out episode. If you do like it, we'll have our guests back and we'll do some more in the future. First of all, however, I'd like to welcome my co-host Sol. Welcome to the show as always.
Great to be here as always.
Guys, I'm gonna call these next two people close friends because they are two people who have shaped my enjoyment of TFT in the last 2 years, certainly. Less because I think I've known them for less, but I'll start first with the man to my right, Viagra. Welcome to the show.
What's up, everyone? Hello, hello.
And last but certainly not least, it's a man who two of the three other people on this podcast had never seen before until this very moment. He was hidden from us like a mystery man. And that is my dear friend Untied. Untied, welcome to the show.
It's great to be here. Yeah, I like to keep the mystery alive, of course. But yeah, I think I'm. I haven't streamed yet, so I think it's not many people have seen me, but yeah, I'm a fun player. I might stream a bit in the future. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you joining us this evening. If you guys, there's a lot going on in the world, but one of the things going on is that there's a lot of flooding in the southeast corner of Australia, as well as Southeast Asia, and that includes Untied and I, who it's been raining on for the last 2 weeks. So we appreciate Untied joining us, who was having a bit of internet troubles the last 24 hours.
Yeah, hopefully I've got it all sorted. But yeah,
hopefully so, guys. We don't have all that much to talk about because the main topic of our episode is really an ode to OCE, the friends we've made along the way, and the people who have shaped our TFT journeys. But we do have one important thing to talk about, and that is the Scholar Cup, which was the most recent regional-ish event happening in TFT in the Oceanic region. We actually had someone playing in it on this very podcast, and that was Soul. Soul, I mean, I know the wound is still fresh, and maybe the stitches haven't quite healed over yet, but maybe you could tell us a little bit about your Scholar Cup experience.
Yeah, sure. I mean, all things considered, it was a pretty good run. I made it to day 2. I didn't immediately get knocked out of day 2, so I at least played 4 games. It wasn't too bad. Yeah. Other than that, it was a really good experience, regardless. Like a very, very good sort of learning experience. It's still only the second proper tourney I've ever played, TFT. So there's still a lot to learn and a lot to sort of adjust to and everything like that. So I think overall I'm pretty happy with my performance. And yeah, even though there was still a lot that I could have done better, but it's I'm happy overall with it, if that makes sense. Made my peace with it at this point.
Yeah, and I think at least for a couple of us, we were mostly watching your experience of this tournament. So, is there something that you learned from the event about the meta that's going on at the moment, guys? This is really going to be about as much TFT as we discuss.
I think I don't know, meta wise, I think that the weekend we saw a few comps sort of break out and really establish themselves in the meta. We had things like Jin, which wasn't regarded as highly going into 20, do really, really well. I saw a lot of Draven do really, really well as well. I think a few Seraphine Innovator comps also come to mind that did really, really well. So which is I was saying that a lot of the meta comps previously that were very popular, like Renata, Irelia, Siva, they obviously got nerfed in the patch that just happened. Like last week in the B patch. So yeah, so we're seeing like those comps sort of go back a little bit, like fall down a bit, and these other comps sort of come out, which I think is pretty cool.
And well, that concludes the TFT portion of our episode for today, guys. It's not
You
really.
got
Oh, yeah,
two
let's talk
casual
about-
players on ladder. I'm literally just a ladder warrior, so no turny opinions from me, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm the same.
You got 3 ladder warriors and Soul here, to be honest. It's just 3 relaxed guys. But look, I will say I think the Scholar
Nice
Cup was
people.
really interesting from a meta perspective, because it's we've had a little while of the B patch now to sort of shake out. Viagra, I'll come to you and ask you a little bit about how you're feeling on the current B patch.
Right now, let's see. I played a couple of games actually in the V patch. I'm pretty sure I played like a ton, like probably like 30 games already. And I'm pretty sure that this Sivir unit is absolute fucking garbage. I feel so bad every time I see a Sivir 2 on my roll down. I put items on it and it just doesn't do anything. It's pretty much dead in the ground, for sure. The one thing I noticed was the popularity of Draven. Like that's been popping up a lot more in my solo queue games. A lot of people just like grabbing a VIP Debonair and then just slamming like whatever items, and then at level 8 they just roll down for VIP Draven, and pretty much it cucks the Irelia comp a lot. I've noticed, just because the Irelia has to get through like the extra HP from the Debonair trait, and then the Draven just goes ham, can't really one shot it. So as a Draven player, I'm happy. I just need to learn the comp pretty much, or like how to play Draven. So yeah, that's my read on the patch.
Untied, your thoughts on the patch? Are you a Draven enjoyer?
I'm definitely more of a Draven enjoyer than I am a just Civ or Renata every game enjoyer. I think it's I haven't probably played enough of the patch to really know what I think of it, but I guess I really prefer it to the first patch. It feels a lot more flexible, and yeah, I don't know. I think I'm still getting used to the augments that are in the set, and I think that's where a lot of the fun is right now. Like I think some of the units they've introduced this set, especially that have been strong like Sivir and that, they're not that fun compared to I guess what we lost in the last one, like Fiora and that. So yeah, I think a lot of the fun is around the augments right now. And the patch, it definitely feels better to be able to play more than 2 comps right now. Really looking forward to the next patch and what's coming up.
Soul TFT, my co-host and my friend. Before this episode, you said you'd read the patch notes and you were excited. I'd like you to tell someone who hasn't read the patch notes why they should too be excited about the coming up changes to the game.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Without just like going over everything, just sort of big picture stuff for the next patches. So, 12.5, is that the one we're up to now? 12.5 is gonna be a really, really big patch. Their intention is that this patch will basically go on for about a month. Is what they've said, I believe. If they've said that if they need to be patch it, they will be patch it next week. Other than that, this is gonna be like the patch for like a whole month. So they've like really done a lot to sort of they put a lot of work into it. In the rundown, if any listen to the rundown, Mortog and Kent like they sounded like they were really fucking tired and they were like really really stressed out. So I can tell that like and just like looking at like all the work that they put into it, I can tell that like yeah a lot's going on into this patch. But the sort of big picture stuff is like it's basically fixed a lot of the sort of criticisms and issues of the set from like just like for example like augment balance is a lot better just by looking at it. They've nerfed a lot of the combat augments. Like people who've played a lot of set 6.5 will know how much stronger sort of combat augments have been this set compared to last set. Like the fact that there are more combat augments for you to pick, and then like a lot of them are just really, really strong. They've adjusted things like tome of traits so that like tier 1 tome isn't as broken. Like you can't abuse as much as you can anymore. There's a whole bunch of like balance changes to different champions. some like for example, like one of the big ones is that non-VIP Draven got significantly buffed. It's almost like a semi rework where so non-VIP Draven now innately has 4 hex attack range plus I think it's like 25% armor shred. So you don't have to hit VIP Draven anymore to do all of it. You can just play Draven. Thank God. Because playing VIP Draven felt pretty good. Playing non-VIP Draven felt pretty bad. And then other than that, there's just a lot of other just like general balance changes, like fixing up like readjusting numbers and items, moving things around like that. And so I would say, yeah, the patch looks really, really good.
Oh, one big change I'm excited for in the patch is they're changing how you can get some augments if you're playing certain traits on the board.
Yes.
Because
Yep.
I think they removed like you can't get battle mage or like knife's edge if you're playing like 2 sniper. Because I had a game like yesterday, I literally got both battle mage and knife's edge while I had MF2 and Caitlyn 2 on my board. I just got 2 augments. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah,
So yeah, I just can't wait for that one to like go live.
That was the one I forgot to mention that like I had in my head that I needed to say it, but I just didn't say it. Yeah, they fixed up the algorithm, which is probably the thing that I'm like the most excited for. It only applies to 3-3 though, so 1-4 augment is still like pretty much purely random.
Mhm.
But 3-3, I think 3-3 and 4-5 augments, the algorithm is a lot more tailored to your board now, so that'll be a lot better to play, I think, for sure.
If anybody was watching Keith earlier today, he took
I was just about to mention that.
he took the yordles where you get items, and his prismatic at 4/6 was like makeshift something else.
It was makeshift
level up
battle,
and like something else.
Battle mage as well. We had like the backline socialite hex.
Yeah, backline socialite hex, battle mage.
That should be reportable.
And yeah, battle mage level up and makeshift prismatic.
It was looking good too, and it was just fast 8th after that.
That's so fucking funny. So that's being fixed.
Yeah.
That's being fixed. I'm glad that at least some of you pay attention to TFT news. I was just expecting to come and drink, so thank you for saving me, guys. Look, the point of this episode, of course, outside of everything, is to talk about why we love the community that we're in. And I received probably about 15 to 20 DMs from friends and community members about their favorite moments in the OCE, SEA, TFT communities. But we're not going to start with them. We're going to start with our panel members. So you guys have had a little while to think about this, so I hope you're ready. I'm going to start with you, Soul. Favorite moments, favorite people, best memories of TFT, and what brings you back every week to this fucking podcast?
Favorite moments. I think one of the ones that does stand out to me, and this is like a sneak peek to what Penny said, is that when we all played Set 6 PvE, that experience was really, really cool, and it honestly felt like the culmination of like, several months of like meeting new people, hanging out with people and stuff, and then like all of a sudden we're all there playing this dumb TFT game on PvE. And that was really, really fucking cool. And obviously, like, even from that experience, like, I met a lot of new people as well. From that as well. Like, shout out to Adam Rane, who, like, I hadn't interacted with much with at all, but I felt like I really got to know during, like, during Set 6 PvE, which is really, really cool. So, yeah, I think, like, that was, like, if I was to pick one specific moment, that one really stands out to me. But other than that, in general, I mean, this is gonna be really like layman stuff. But just meeting a lot of like new people from TFT, is been really, really cool. From literally just starting out as like some random person in like Sleppy and Viagra's chat, and then like meeting, branching out, meeting all these people, getting into streaming, like all that stuff's just been really, really cool.
That's really nice. That's really nice, isn't it? I think, I mean, I've told the story on this podcast before about how we met, so I might come back to that in a little while as a pivotal moment for me. Let's go to you, Carlos. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Oh man, like memorable moments as like part of the OCE community. It's been like So if you guys didn't know how I ended up here, so I used to like play TFT mainly in NA and KR because most of the people I watched on Twitch were like Soju, Karoom, and all that, and KR just because I live here, so I figured it's like the best place to climb. And I've been streaming on Twitch since like August 2020. It's actually like a lot longer than a lot of the OCE streamers here. It's just that I was a one viewer Andy because I had like no community to attach myself to. There's not really like a lot of English speaking Koreans on Twitch. I wasn't in like the NA scene like for that long. And so like it started when I found Jose's stream when it was recommended to me. And I figured out that he played on OCE. So like I made an account literally just to snipe him there. And so like after hanging out in Jose's chat, I got to know like people like Keith, Mina. Um man, this is like the early days of Jose's stream too. So it's like there was a lot of people at DB. So like just by like hanging out in Jose's chat and like just playing like the OC ladder, I essentially just got to meet everyone there, and like for the most part, Jose's been like supportive with my stream as well. So it's like a lot of viewers come in and interact, and so it's like I feel really blessed to be a part of this community after like playing TFT with like just myself. Like I literally treat it as a solo queue game. It's not like I'm going out here on the KR server talking shit like to random people on the ladder I see every day. So it's like it's a lot more like community based now, and so like it's helped my enjoyment of the game a lot more for sure.
That's great. That's great. That's a great story. That's really cool. We are going to, of course, move over to Untied now. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as someone who is the most recent out of everybody that certainly I've met.
Yeah, well, I guess I played TFT since set one. I played probably as long as it's been around, but I didn't really start interacting with people or watching streams until I think set 4 or 5. And I think everyone in this podcast right now happened to be the first 3 people that I properly, I guess, interacted with just independently, just by chance on streams. So I guess I through just playing TFT, seeing people. I think everyone here had their Twitch name in their IGN, and I saw that, and I just went onto a stream and said hi, and everyone was incredibly friendly. I think I played a lot of League of Legends before TFT, and the community in League is so much more competitive with each other, so much more animosity towards each other, with the feelings of like these people holding me back. But everyone in TFT is just so friendly and so happy to help each other learn. That yeah, the second I came into anyone's stream here, like all 3 of the people on this podcast were just friendly and interested to ask about how I've been playing TFT, how I've been playing, get to know me as well. And that was amazing to me to see just a friendly, open community. And then I think it just happened. I found Kotler. Oh, I think I found Viagra first, and then Kotler, and then Soul. And it happened that Kotler and Soul were friends, and that everyone sort of was part of the same community. And yeah, it's I think for my favorite moment, it's probably this one right here, where it's the first 3 people that I've interacted with. I'm now on a podcast with, and it's great.
Tigers.
Oh man, that is actually true though. I'm pretty sure Untied is like my second ever sub. Like he has a founders, and he's like my second ever sub. Now that I think about it,
Untied is a founders in my chat as well.
Yeah, I think purely by chance. I found Viagra, and then like a week later I found Kotler, and then really soon after that Soul. It's just a wave.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Untied has the founders in all of our chats.
That wouldn't surprise me. He's a good friend. That's very wholesome. That is very wholesome. I will try and keep my story a bit short. I'll sort of talk about quickly how I met Soul first. I ran into him on ladder one day, just playing games, and added him after the game was over because he had his TTV in his name, and I gave him a follow, and he had about 15 or 20 followers. Like you'd started about 3 or 4 days before.
Literally just starting. Yeah, it was like was it the first or second week? It was really early. Either way.
It was really close. It
Yeah.
was really close. And so you just started streaming, and I was coming up on doing a 24-hour community thing for a hospital on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. And I decided that during the 24 hours, to keep myself sane, I would invite people onto the stream at points to talk to them about their Twitch journey and how they got started and why they got started. And I thought, well, there's probably no better person to talk to than someone who's just started streaming, because it'll be interesting to hear why they started and what they like about TFT. And then probably about 20 or 25 minutes into our chat, I think I'd probably said about 10 words altogether, because Soul was talking the whole time about just these like incredibly enjoyable, like complex TFT theories about what he like really enjoyed about the game. And how like and it was so interesting to listen to. And there was somebody in my chat that was like, oh, you guys should make a podcast. And so I messaged David after the episode and was like, do you want to just fucking make a podcast? Why not? Why don't we just get it started? And that's basically how I met Soul, and that's basically why the podcast exists from this point on. But really, up until set 4.5, I like didn't know anybody in the community, mostly because I didn't do this. I didn't stream. I played on a MacBook because I didn't have a computer, a PC. I used to sit on my MacBook after work and play all night TFT. And I would watch Skara. I watched Skara before I even downloaded TFT in set 2 on how to play. So from that point on, from like set 4 onwards, I sort of started talking to anybody who had TTV in their name. I'd like add them because I'd started doing a couple of streams here and there. And all of a sudden I'd met people like Donnie and Keith and of course you three. I mean, there are so many more that I could name. And there literally are like almost 100 people that you could probably name that like you just know on ladder and like talk to in game and things like that. I know I said I would keep this short, but shut the fuck up. So look, at the end of the day, I think meeting David especially, which has really set all of this into motion, has been really it's my highlight. That's my absolute highlight of all of this. And you know, I wouldn't change it, especially with what we're doing now and what we've got coming up. It's been pretty great, I would say.
You're so right about I guess Twitch is so important for the community. You know, well, with other games, with multiplayer games where you have teammates and that, it's really easy to have an experience or have a game with someone where things go well and you add them after the game and become friends. But I guess in TFT, there's less of those interactions because it's all about what you do. No one's. I guess other people do affect how you play, but it's very like you don't get moments where someone does something really great and it benefits you, or you sort of want to add them after. It really comes from, you know, you see that they're a streamer or you see that they're involved in the community and you talk to them through that. So Twitch is just so important for that in TFT.
True. Sure. Oh, man, it's actually kind of surreal. I started playing in OC in like set 4, and like I remember my friends list was literally just like was like 3 people, and then I was like full. It's full as fuck. After like a year or 2 years of playing TFT in OCE, it's actually kind of surreal to see like how full my friends list became. Yeah, so it's a nice feeling for sure.
It is a nice feeling, and you know, I mean, even now, like, you know, where we are right now, I mean, from this point, if you're not watching this live, I mean, you're probably in one of 10 other OCE TFT challenger player chats right now, just like hanging out with your friends and playing the game. And that's one of the really nice things. Like, I mean, half the time we do this podcast, like on my other monitor, there's another OC Challenger streamers stream on. Just like they're just playing the game, they're talking to their friends, they've got anywhere from 10 to 2, 3, 400 viewers, whatever it may be. And it still feels like you're just hanging out with your friends. So it's really nice. And I with all the quarantines that have happened in the last few years, I know that's sort of old to kind of talk about now, because especially Australia, I mean, we've sort of moved on a little bit from quarantines, but that was, I think the quarantines were a big factor, I think personally, in sort of the melding of these online OC communities together. It happened around
For
set
sure.
4.5, set 4.5.
I mean, lockdown's literally what like got me to like finally try streaming, because like it's been something that's been on the back of my brain for like so long. But I just like never like actually did it, because I was like, oh, it's probably too hard. And then lockdown happened, and I was like, I am so fucking bored. All I'm doing is waking up, doing my online uni work, and then just playing TFT. I may as well stream it. so, so I think like I remember I literally asked my friend. I was like, yeah, do you know? I know you like stream casually. Do you know much at all? And he proceeded to help me set it up, and I was like, oh, this is way easier than I thought it was. And that was pretty much it.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
another thing. My streaming journey's been like insane, dude. When I started streaming on like OCE, I was using my phone as like a camera, and I was using
I
like my
remember this.
earphone mic. Yeah, I was using my earphone mic. I got
I
like
remember this.
a second monitor, a proper like streaming setup. It's insane to see like how much has changed since like I started like interacting with you guys in terms of like streaming.
I remember when. Sorry. I'll just finish what I was gonna say. I remember the days of when you streamed Valorant, Carlos, and you had to look down to read chat.
Yeah, because I have a second monitor.
I was just gonna say I missed the Vayne one trick streams. That's when I started watching
those
you.
were fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
All you guys would see me do is sell my board and like hold one vein and be like, we're chilling.
Can we all put our drinks up for chat, by the way, guys? I posted in the chat what we're drinking right now, but we got some drinks. So
Hashtag ad.
hashtag ad.
Actually,
Not really.
Asahi, if you're listening,
Sponsor us.
sponsor us. We've got a tournament coming up. I want to get into reading a couple of messages that I got from community members. And I think there will not only be a really nice sort of trip down memory lane, but also good sort of discussion jumping off points. This one was actually directed for Seoul. This one specifically came from Mash.
Oh yeah.
And Mash said his favorite moments in TFT were the 2 weeks where Seoul and I were climbing to Chally and set 5.5 together. Were a highlight. We'd both start stream in the morning and pray to the LP gods and see if we both make it.
Yeah, that was so fun. Mishmash was like one of. I mean, it sucks that he doesn't really stream anymore because he's really busy with uni. He's like writing a thesis right now, so he's just being a hermit. But yeah, Mash was one of the first people I like met on like Twitch, like while I was like streaming. Because I think like we met because like I got raided or something, and then he was part of the raid, and then I found out that he also streamed. And then from there, we just started like running into each other on like ladder and stuff. And like I would raid him, he would raid me. Like we'd talk to each other in each other's chats. And this is like back when I only had like I was averaging like 2-3 viewers. So this was like really early days. And yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, definitely miss Mash.
Come back for set 7, Mash.
I think 5.5s were like as a community, like everyone who like we hung out with were like the highest they'd peak on ladder. It's like you'd actually see like a full Chally game or like a Chally GM game where like most of us were there.
True.
Yep.
And now it's just like It's too hard to climb now. I don't know.
4-digit LP, baby. I'll never get it back ever again.
Oh god, I remember those days. Yeah.
Fucking rank
5.5 for
12.
me was like surely the highlight of like my rank climb, and I was like probably like the peak of like my streaming, like
Yeah.
my current streaming
Well,
career.
well,
So
well, it's exactly as you said, right? 5.5 was like the perfect stall. Like everyone was high ranked, so you'd actually see everyone in your ranked games. It was actually so fun.
It was great.
But
Yeah?
yeah, yeah.
I will give a special shout out as well. A moment of absolute fantastic like climbing memories for me is for me and Dani. We used to have work on one of our monitors, and on the second monitor we would play TFT together all day, and we were trying in the last 2 weeks of 4.5 to get Challenger. We both got to like 700 or 800 LP, and we both missed Challenger at the end of the set. And I had two accounts with over 700 LP, and they were both GM.
sad. The 5.5 cutoff I felt like was so low too, so it was a lot easier.
It was
I don't
low.
know.
Yeah.
It was super low. I was like, you could get Chally like 3 weeks into the set, 2 weeks. It's like still 500, and I was like, that's
Yep.
so. That's usually not the case. I feel like no.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say you say that, but 6.5, it's still like
Okay.
500.
To be fair,
There's like 50 there's like 50 Challenger
chilled
players.
out, yeah.
Do
We
you think
haven't
that just,
filled out the
Plus helping your
challenger slots
challenger.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
The
do you think that
sets
just
been up, like,
happens with like 0.5 sets?
Yeah.
5s? I don't know.
It's
I'm
got to.
not sure. Yeah, it's got it, but I'm not sure.
Might just be that everyone's like, there's not as big changes and everyone's not as excited to play.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I don't know. I have like 100+ games on this set already, and I'm still fucking 300 LP hard stock. So
Can I flex real quick how many games I've played real quick?
No fucking chance.
I think I
Bro.
played, like,
Move
60
on.
games
Next
or
topic. Next topic. Hold
I think I
on.
played, like, 60 games
There's
or
some
something.
fucking guy in NA who's already played 1,000 games.
57
He's like
games.
1,100 LP.
1,000?
Yeah.
Holy!
Oh no,
I
it's
don't-
set
I don't
He
think
six.
that-
actually doesn't sleep now.
He's like
I don't think
set
I've ever
six.
played more than like 300 games in the set.
Really? Okay, I
Yeah.
always end up like around 600. I feel like.
Bro,
Same.
Jay.
I usually have like several accounts, so it's like
Yeah.
600 cumulative.
I play like 200, 250 a set, I think. The most was 3.5, where I played like 400 games.
We
Probably.
play too much TFT. Holy
Yeah, that's
fuck.
I've already played 90 games, but I'll play like 30 more before the end of the set. It's not I'm gonna keep playing.
Yeah.
I'll play
You
like
guys should have seen me when
20 in the
I
next
first
week.
started, like the first 2 weeks I started like I streamed because I was only like because I didn't have like I really have any viewers. I just like played all day. Like I would just play like 10-12 hours a day and like log like 20 games a day.
bruh.
Now I play like 4 games and I immediately want to pivot.
I play one game, I go fourth, I'm like, oh, that was stressful. I guess I'm gonna go do nothing else for the rest of the day.
Mhm.
I can't have music. If I'm winning, I'll play like all day. But if I lose like 2 games in a row, I take like a week break.
Oh yeah, true.
Fuck
True.
it.
I can respect that, you know.
Hmm.
I don't believe the losses.
At the end of 5.5, I went from 1,100 LP down to 300 on an insane loss streak, basically. And that was it. That's when I was like, okay, I need to stop playing TFT for a while. Fucking hell. This game, man. That was good. That was a good start, actually. That was really nice. We'll keep going with some other messages from people.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next message I got back was from Penny, and that was Penny's best moment was playing the Set 6 PBE, and the one of the best moments for her was being in the Roll Down podcast Discord hub call with everybody, as we mentioned earlier, yelling things like "No, I'm going 8th" over and over again. With a special mention to the games and memories she made with Rane and Untied. We basically, the reason that I started the server initially wasn't just for the podcast, it was so that we could play Set 6 PBE together. There's
I mean,
still
the channels are literally still called PB voice channel, so
Yeah, we don't have like a
Oh, yeah.
regular discussion channel. We have a PBE discussion channel, and that's it basically.
We still have a channel just to drop PBE IGNs.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think that's really nice for like new people who want to come in as well, because they can like add some people and play some games and things like that. If you are listening to this and you do want to be a part of that kind of stuff, I will say that the joining us on Discord is a good way to do it. I mean, if this episode doesn't convince you that this is like a friendly community, I don't know what will, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I think up until that point, I don't think I'd ever played more than like 10 games of PBE. And it was the community in the Discord that got me to stick around and play it. Yeah, I think the only reason I think I did like climb well in that set was because I wanted to play so much more, and I played so much PBE, and it was just the people in the community keeping me there.
For sure. I remember like waking up on during the PB patch cycle. I just scroll through my friends list and shoot them like a DMs like Discord, and it's like make a lobby.
Yeah. That's so good.
Good memories. Thank you for that, Penny. And another shout out to Rane. I actually heard from him yesterday. He was not yesterday, 2 days ago. He is currently in the middle of making SoundCloud rap songs about protesters, the New Zealand protesters who came through last year, and they're fucking good. Maybe I'll link it in the show notes. You can go and listen.
Yeah, please link that.
Sure.
Okay, this one is from a former guest of the podcast, Maxibon Bloke. I didn't pay him to say this, but his favorite person is actually me, which is unbelievable.
Actually unbelievable.
Actually unbelievable.
How much did you PayPal him? How much did you PayPal him? I really need to know.
Maxi,
He's streaming while this podcast is going on. How can this be?
Yeah, true. Maxi, don't forget to check your PayPal. He says that his favorite moment is also Set 6 PB. There's a bit of a trend here, I think, mostly because I asked basically everybody who was in those PB lobbies. But he says his absolute favorite moment from Set 6 PB, and I had forgotten about this until he sent it to me, was Dani feeding 3-star Mundo to Tam Kench accidentally.
I remember this. Never forget. I remember this.
Was it just because he like was trying to swap and it like hovered over the can?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then he lost.
I don't think I was there for this one, but I can just imagine it. And I can just imagine the oh shit. I can just imagine his fucking
death slam.
He started screaming.
Oh yeah.
He literally started screaming.
Many death slams were redeemed in an instant. Oh, that's so good.
That's great. That's so good.
Set 6 PB is definitely like the most I've ever interacted with anyone in like the OC community and like voice for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
yeah.
Before that, it was just like I think it was like coaching with Jose, and then I think I talked to Sleppy once, like on a World's Watch party. But then like it wasn't until like Set 6 PB where I started talking to like everyone a lot more. Where it's like, oh, if I see you on ladder, just get on Discord and we'll like talk.
Yeah. This PB actually like normalized the whole like just hanging out on Discord during ladder games, which was really cool.
I hope Set 7 PB will be the same when it comes out.
Get the game's fun again, Smooge.
Yeah.
Smooch.
Oh god. I got one from Dani actually, who I don't even think I should read because he went live 2 minutes before the podcast came online. So
I know.
What's the
How
point?
dare he?
It's always nice to see James doing well. He's like cultivated such an awesome little community as well. That's past and future guest, Jay Dani. James's favorite moment was his qualifier bet with Dappler. They both made a deep run into a Set 6 qualifier tournament, and they had $50 on it. And basically every game that went past, they got more and more invested in the game. And in the bet, and he says he really didn't want to lose $50. So
Did he end up winning?
he didn't.
He won.
I don't remember who won this one.
No. Donnie won. That's the start of the whole meme. It was like a -40 meme. If you go on Dappler's, if Dappler's ever streaming, just type -40 and he'll know what's going on.
Oh, okay. I don't think I was aware for this one. I'll make sure to do it next on Richard's next stream. I'm typing it. It's too late.
-40 in his chat, and Richard will know what he's talking about. What you're talking about. Oh, good time.
Oh.
Again, I am not a I am not allowed to compete in tourney, so I don't remember a lot of the shit that went down during tourney. Sadly, give a
I-
slot to SEA, please.
I haven't done
Please.
any bets. I've only done one bet with one friend, and that was an actual North American streamer friend of mine named Ominous TFT, who actually stopped playing the game after this bet. It was the shortest amount of games from D40 LP to Master. We did a 10 subs bet on it, and it took me 27 games, and it took him 140, and he got so burnt out.
What?
He got so burnt out with the game that he stopped
Oh,
playing.
Oh shit!
And he took
That's
an
a lot of
entire
games.
he took an entire set break.
Holy fuck! Brutal.
We did it on the same region, yeah. For the
Have
question
you-
in chat.
Have you guys done that? Have you like stopped for a set or half a set and then come back?
Nope.
You know,
I didn't
surprisingly, I haven't.
Stop. My games, like my total games, were like super down, but I never stopped.
Yeah.
I was still playing because I'm addicted to this game.
Me too.
I never skipped a set, but set 5 was the closest I've ever
Mm.
been to like quitting the game. Not quitting, but you know what I mean. Set 5 was the closest I got to like just like not playing the game. Set 5, all I remember is I remember Blue Blanc. I remember abusing Dark Blue Buff LeBlanc, and then I remember abusing Karma. That's it. That's all. That's all I did. I remember the start of the set. I remember the end of the set. I didn't play the middle of the set at all.
Yeah, I never stopped, but I think set 4 was I was pretty close to it. Like I barely played any games.
Set 4 or 4.5?
I think both.
I really
I-
liked
I think-
4.5. Is
I
that
think it's
controversial?
4.5.
I think everyone agrees that 4.5 was like way worse than 4.
No
don't know, I like
way.
4.
4 was way worse than 4.5. I
No,
nearly quit in
oh,
set
come.
4. I nearly quit in
Bro,
set
that's
4.
I can't.
My least amount
No.
of games played in a TFT set is 4.5 for sure.
4.5
Like
was
I
just the
enjoyed
worst.
I enjoyed set 5, both like 5 and 5.5. 4.5 I just did not enjoy like the comps. Like there was nothing for me that was like I enjoy like
Yeah.
front to back comps with like a strong tank, like strong front line, strong back line. So it's like that's why I enjoy Draven. I enjoy like Vayne. What else was there? Like basically my favorite comps are always front to back. And then 4.5 we had like Kale, which is like I did not enjoy playing Kale. And so I like there's nothing to play for me in 4.5 that I like was enjoyable for my playstyle. I was like just so much the closest I've come to like quitting set.
Hmm.
I liked 4.5, mostly because I climbed really hard to Challenger in that set and got so close. Like, sort of... But I hated set 4. I hated Kane. I hated Riven. I hated all those units. All the Dusk units.
That's too bad because I'm an unashamed Dusk abuser and I love
Oh,
Riven.
shit.
I fucking love Riven. Patches.
I think yeah, I've never stopped a set either, but I have taken break. There's certainly been times when like I had LP that I didn't want to lose, but there was like a patch that I was like, I fucking can't. I just fucking can't
Patch
deal
breaks
with
I
this
think
shit.
are a lot more common. No?
Yeah.
Like I'll take a break for a whole patch. will play close to 0 games on a patch that I do not like. But I will
Mm.
never take a break for like a whole set.
Yeah, at the very start of what was Elderwood ASOL? Was that 4.5? 4.5?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
So after
Yeah.
like 2 days of that set, just before everybody knew Elderwood ASOL was uber broken, I was ranked 2 with like 300 LP in GM in like the second day. And then they hotfix nerfed it and I stopped playing for 3 weeks. I fucking stopped playing because all I was doing was slamming Elderwood Spat like at the start of every game, only buying Maokai and just chilling. And that was all I did. I like climbed immediately. And then I stopped playing because they fucking ruined it. They fucking ruined it. Ridiculous. Anyway, I think I like that. I like that set because I had a lot of good memories with the comps, and I think that's really what where you kind of get a lot of your enjoyment from. Like I think everybody loves, and I will speak for everybody here. Everybody loves 3 or 3.5 if you played it, because they
for
all
sure.
have like
Actually-
a moment where they're like, dude, I did the most fucking insane thing on this specific galaxy that was so sick you'd have to fucking see it to believe it.
I think it was 3.5 where I went 2020 Kale before everyone realized it was broken and hit Challenger for the first time.
Oh, that'd be set
So
3.
yeah, I loved
Yeah,
it for that. Yeah.
Original Kale was in set 3. Yeah. Chrono Kale. Times.
Fun.
I think I played nothing but Kale from Masters to Challenger and didn't bot for a single game because everyone hadn't caught on yet.
Nice.
Do you guys think that the quality of the set to you is really influenced by like the previous few sets? Because like for me, like I like 6.5, but it doesn't feel incredible to me. But I think that's largely because I really liked 5.5 and 6. I think that
Yeah.
if you went from 4.5, if you went from like 5.0 to this set now, it'd be the best set ever. Just because of the difference in quality.
I think you can go from 500 to any set.
Yeah.
The best set ever.
Yeah. Even like I think 6.5 is a really good set compared to like everything we've had.
Sure, yeah.
And it just doesn't feel that amazing to me personally because I think the last two sets were really good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy 6.5. Honestly, I like have a lot of fun playing the game right now. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like
I-
not as bad.
Yeah.
I'm not
feel
as
like
influenced.
I
for
feel like
sure,
I fall
but,
into
like,
that camp of people that actually like 6.5. I don't know
Yeah.
if that makes me a psychopath, but yeah.
No. Like I don't dislike it. I enjoy it. I just think that
Yeah.
like if I hadn't had these past two sets, I'd be like, wow, the game is like solved. It's the best. It's the best set that's ever
Yeah.
been. It's
Oh,
incredible.
for sure.
And instead, I'm just like, yeah, I enjoy this, but like if we went back to 6 or 5.5, I would be like, wow, missing out.
Mm. Yep. I think I do mostly agree though. Like I do compare. I do feel my enjoyment of sets is linked to like how good like the sets that like are fresh in my mind were, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And I'll be honest, I didn't actually like 6 that much, like set 6 that much,
Okay,
which
yeah.
is probably why I like set 6.5 a lot more. Cause I don't know, I think I spoke about this a lot, but like my problem with set 6 isn't. It's not conceptually. It's not that's not the issue. If anything, like set 6 has a better like champion deck. Like set 6 has like an actual better deck, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
I
6 like yeah, like the biggest criticism that I agree with everybody on 6.5 is 6.5 is a very unoriginal deck because like most of the units in the deck are like reprints, especially the 4 costs that you're playing around, right? The units that like you've already played before. So
Yeah.
like that I think is fair. But like I feel like everyone forgets how like absolutely imbalanced augments were when they first came out in set 6. Like firstly the augments themselves were not balanced very well. Like if you like, you know, I think people take for granted like the trait-based augments like giving champions and shit. Like they didn't even give champions at the start. And then coupled with
Yeah.
the fact that like for a while they gave 3 some of them gave 3 costs while others gave 1 costs. Like, just remember that Arcanist Heart gave you a TF, while Chemtech gave you a Zac. Like, you know, or Scrap gave you an Echo. Just let that sink in real quick.
True.
And then, like, not to mention the augment algorithm was even worse at launch. It was even shitter at launch. Like, you would get so many options that did not make any sense at all. So, yeah. But the units are pretty good. So that is the redeeming factor of set 6. The units are pretty cool.
I do not remember a lot of set 6. Honestly, I played like a ton of games on like launch. I don't remember anything you said about like any of that should be invalid. I just picked whatever the fuck I
Yeah.
wanted and played whatever I wanted pretty much. But like I don't know.
Fun.
Like,
It just wasn't balanced.
when we're talking
Yeah.
about sets, I feel like what matters to me is like how fun were the comps? Was it like anything like if you say like set 5, like for me the comps that come to mind are like Shadow Blue Buff LeBlanc, like Vayne 1, Fast 9. There's like
Abram
those are the
Rise.
ones that are like, oh, yeah, Shadow Blue Buff Rise. Like those are like they were imbalanced, but they were fun when you were the one playing them. I was like, what else? Like just think of like a memorable comp. When it comes to like set 6, like I don't remember much where I'd be like, this game sucks. I'm gonna hate playing this game, or like it's the game's deciding. Like for 6.5, I already have one. It's the stupid Renata comp. I hate that thing with a burning passion. And when someone talks about 6.5 later, when we're in like set 9 or something, when they say 6.5, that's the first comp that's gonna come to my mind. I just don't feel that way for like set 6. I don't know.
She's gonna have
Maybe you guys have like a
PTSD of
common
Renata.
mind.
It's
Yeah.
such a high impact skill that she has that just doesn't
Yeah.
visually, or like it doesn't feel like a high impact skill.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
it has so much value, but like just looking,
Mm.
it's like, oh, a bit of poison spray. It's like, what's that actually doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cassiopeia actually, you know, I'll go to Cassiopeia like 4.5.
Mhm.
Is that right? 4.5.
Yeah.
Wait,
it
which
was
one?
in
The one that
4.5.
the one
The
that
dots?
dots or the one that stuns?
Dots. 3.5.
3 point.
That's
3
3.5.
3 and 3.5. Sorry, it's just 3.5. Sorry, 3.5.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't even remember that.
Vanguard
It's,
Mystics,
some blue buff
baby!
Morello. Yeah,
Vanguard
Vanguard
Mystic
Vanguard
Cassio.
Mystics,
Oh, okay, yeah.
baby!
Not the whole
That
board.
She was so fun. I love that comp so much.
Nico
I
before
actually love that
Nico.
comp.
I love that comp
Yeah.
too. But one of the reasons it felt fun to play is because you could actually tell that the skill was doing damage. Because you could actually like the visible difference was like you just absolutely knew that you were like melting a whole board. Like
Mhm.
Renata just like farts, and then you look at the damage, and it's like, oh, she did 8k, and she has a tier and a Morello's on her, and it's 3-3, and you're like, oh,
Yeah. It's good.
oh, okay, cool. Where'd my entire board go? I guess I just took 15. It's like it's not fun to play against. It doesn't feel enjoyable to play either. I mean, sure, it's nice. It's nice to play.
It will
As-
be memorable. though.
As
That's
a
what I'm saying.
Renato abuser, it feels very enjoyable to play. I'm just gonna
This
slip that there real
fucking
quick.
I'm just saying it's
Play
gonna be
against, I'm
memorable
on your side.
for sure.
But
It's just gonna be
it's
very memorable.
enjoyable to play.
Yeah, yeah, I think memorability is a good point. Definitely. That's a really good point. Let's let's move on. We've got plenty more messages from people coming in.
All right.
This one's from Keith, actually. Chaos. So Keith sent me a really nice message. He said, ever since I started playing on OC in 3.5, he's made countless memories. This community is the best community I've ever been a part of. And I hope to be a part of it for as long as possible. I thought that was really sweet. That was a really, really nice, a nice sort of tie-in from, I mean, one of the best players I've seen on the server ever. I mean, you know, when you think of the best player, like the players that are perennially in the top 5 and the top 10, I mean, that's the first person I think of. Definitely up there with Jose and Angora.
Yep.
I absolutely agree. Yep.
And Kade, of course. I mean, who can forget?
Yeah. Shout out to
Wait.
Kade.
Keep only started playing in 3.5. I was not like that far off from me then. I started in 4. So I always felt like Keep was part of the community a lot longer than me for some reason. Which is actually pretty interesting.
He did say on OC, so maybe he came from a different server.
Yeah, he was playing SG, I think.
SG.
Yeah, he's playing SG, but I'm talking about like OC, right? Because like I've been playing TFT since like set 3. So I'm a late TFT pivoter. I played Dota Auto Chess, like that shitty Auto Chess mobile clone, and then I played TFT.
Yeah, I got my proper computer with one patch of set 2 left. And I was so excited because I went from unrated to plat 1 in like a week, and I thought I was so good. And I used to watch Skara stream at 0 LP master going 8th every game. And I was like, I'm gonna be as good as you one day, dude. I'm gonna be so fucking good. I'm gonna be a masters player. I'm gonna be just like you. And I used to play only Predator Cog reroll. That's all I used to do.
Did you guys have like big streamers? Yeah, like that for the collar that really got you into it, or that you watched a lot early on?
My like I'm like I say, usually it's like if you're getting into TFT, usually like your introduction to like the scene is like K3 Soju for sure, right? He was like my first big streamer that I watched, and then like Kurum X for sure. He was like the top 2. First person I ever subbed to on Twitch was K3 Soju, so he was like the first big one I watched, and then like I just started to like trickle down to like the smaller communities more for sure. It's just a lot more chill, right? You can ask a lot more people questions about the game, where they talk to you more. So definitely helps their learning curve as well.
Yeah, I think I watched Dog in set one when he was playing TFT, which and then I think he still plays
I
it,
was
but not on stream. Yeah,
I
and
was
then
a
after that,
filthy. You go. Sorry.
I was just gonna say after that it was Keen.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I remember the first time as well I got in game with Keen. It was like I panicked. I did something stupid and waited.
I was a filthy YouTube casual for the longest time. Like I just watched people stream highlights on YouTube, and that was it. Like I vividly remember just watching all the soju videos that came out. You know the one that Flex edits, and I just remember thinking back then, man, this soju guy is really good. He goes first in every single game on YouTube.
Wow, his match history must be like one one
Wow.
one one one.
Wow, he's 1-1-1-1-1. This guy must be really good. And yeah, that's really funny.
Fuck, that's funny. I watched Karam quite a lot actually. This was before he was like a 2 or 3,000 viewer streamer. He maybe got like 1 to 300 or something like that. And he was always like really invested in talking to chat. Really like interested in like helping people out. I thought that was like another in for me as well. I will continue on, shall I? I've got plenty more. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
like
sure.
halfway through. I got this one from Drowsy Sword. Special guest on the Drowsy Sword and Doa episode. And our very first episode, funnily enough. Drowsy is actually a big shout out to someone in chat. Drowsy's favorite friend is actually Nays, who is also somebody who I'd like to personally shout out as someone that's been a part of my journey for quite a while. He was really into he came into my stream really early. It was really nice, really friendly. He's been a homie from the very start, Drowsy says, which I mean you can just imagine Drowsy saying that out loud. He says his favorite moment is playing Fabled Kale in set 4.5. He said that's his favorite ever TFT moment. And somehow being in the MSI, he said that was also enjoyable, where all he did was play Kale every game.
0.5. Man, that's crazy. I forgot Fabled existed for a moment, but that's because I never really played it. To be fair.
I was a proud Kale abuser, baby.
Yep, me too. Proud Kale abuser.
Yep.
I played Kale until keepers were broken, and then I hard forced keepers every game for fucking 6 weeks.
I still remember the Kale board perfectly. That's how much I abused that shit. I actually still remember the exact Kale board perfectly. It was Shen, Aurelia, Yone, Adep frontline, and then you played Kale with like Kindred, Zaya, depending on executioners. And then I don't remember perfectly. I don't remember the other units.
And
yeah,
you used to always put you used to put lockets and chalices on Kindred.
Yes.
Yeah, beside the Kale. Yep.
Yeah. Times.
That set was when
Oh, that's right. You usually play, like,
those items were broken.
Sorry, you play like Zillion or some shit as like your mystic.
Aura items in 4.5 were just so good. Like that's what I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember much 4.5. Like I said, it was like my least favorite set.
Was that Warlords 4.5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Warlords were just in set 4 in general, but yeah.
Used to play
They were in
Cat.
both. Yep.
The Katarina build that was like
Katarina,
like
yeah.
Titans,
Gunblade,
QSS,
QSS.
Gunblade.
I don't
Yeah.
Gunblade QSS, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes.
I used to play 6 Warlord.
Dude, that was Roz's best comp. Like before, he was known for his like Keeper Zaya. His Keeper Kennen. Like I remember in set 4, he like played tourney. He won like the set 4 MSI, I think, playing like Warlord Cat.
Yeah.
I remember that one pretty well.
Do you guys remember Sharpshooter Nidalee when it was like the most broken one cost for
Ooh.
for 2 patches?
Oh my! I
Yeah,
hated
that
that.
Patch.
It used to just
was
insta kill
so
every, like, even at like stage 6, a 1 cost 3-star would just
Yeah.
insta kill any backline in the entire game.
Yeah.
There's the famous Twitch clip, the Kyun loses his mind, where he
Oh,
scouts.
dude, that clip.
Oh,
so...
that's so
And it's
fucking
like
good.
6 out of 8 players are all playing a reroll comp.
Oh
so
fuck.
good.
I think I miss set one's Yasuo with Morello and Ionic.
I didn't play that one.
Anyone else
Yasuo
play
was
through
in-
that terrible stuff?
I didn't play
Sorry,
set
what's
one.
that? What was it again?
Set
What was
one
that?
with Yasuo with Ionic Spark and Morellos.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
he
you told me
just-
this. You told me this.
He just
Yeah.
stood still and killed the entire board.
Honestly,
Because-
I forgot that Yasuo was a 5 cost. So I realize now why I'm only hearing of this for the first time.
Yeah.
Like all the way back then when you told me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
But,
was
like,
so
yeah.
funny though because he didn't actually like do anything. He put it on Yasuo because he was really tanky back then.
Yes, yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
And then whenever someone on the other team would cast, they would get Ionic Spark proc, and it would
Gets
proc
marked,
Morellos.
yeah.
So they just burn to death.
Yeah,
Wait,
Spark.
proc Morello? What the?
Yeah,
Yeah, and also Spark hit anything, everything. Anyone that cast Spark hit in
Yeah.
like back then.
I see.
and
Must have been
Yasuo had a shield that scaled with AP, so you'd play like 6 orcs with him. And so the magic damage, the burn was huge, and also he just wouldn't die because he had a giant
Yeah.
shield.
I mean, what I remember.
Oh, thank
that
God
one-
I didn't play. Holy fuck.
I remember stacking Lockets on Morgana. You remember that, Jacob?
Oh yeah,
Stack
was
Lockets
good.
on Morgana with 6 hawks, and Locket used to be a full hexagon. Anyone that doesn't know, in set 1, Locket was a full
Yeah.
hexagon. Like, you would rebel positioning everyone, and everyone gets Locketed, and Locket's shield wasn't temporary. It was permanent. You just got that
Yeah.
shield. And it was also bugged for a patch where it scaled with Sork. You would put 3 Lockets on your Morgana, and your team was unkillable. It was actually
I
too
see.
fun.
This must be how people feel when I talk about like red buffing Lucian in set 3.
I remember buffing Lucian in
Oh,
set
Red
3 as
Buff
well.
Lucian was-
That shit
yeah.
was so
Yeah,
fun.
Bro, if you
I
just
love
get
that
three,
guy.
if you get
So
3,
fun.
if you just get Leona and Lucian, you
Yeah.
have fucking 2 cybers already. It's like you're so close.
Yeah.
Do you think
Cyber
they could?
Lucian. Red
Do you
buff.
think they could bring back a form of red buff, or at least like AD healing reduction?
I would like that. I would really like that. But I think Red
Mhm.
buff was really good. Like, I think that's probably the reason they got rid of it. And it ended up just being like way too good of an item. But
No, but would it be good now? Like, what units do you want red buff
Red
now?
buff? Isn't
Aside
Red
from
buff
twin
just?
shots. Aside from twin shot.
I mean, someone correct me. Wasn't Red buff just good? Like,
Yeah, it was always just good.
It wasn't
It
even the
was-
twin shot factor. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was definitely partly good because you'd apply it like widely.
Yeah, you could multi proc it.
What's
But I know
gonna-
Red buff was just yeah.
I always just attributed it to the fact that you'd only put red buff on the blaster units. And I was like, okay,
Yeah,
what else
yeah,
is it good on?
Well, the way I think about it is, isn't Red buff literally just Sunfire Cape, except like it's way less risky because it's on a backline unit.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
and
Sunfire,
it's,
Yeah.
because Sunfire is balanced by the fact that the frontline unit actually dies, and so it falls off late game. But Red buff is just good the whole game because late game the backline unit keeps the playing Red buff.
and it's also that if you have it on a carry, you're always applying the healing reduction to who
Anti-heal,
you're
yeah.
attacking. It's always being applied to
okay.
who you're attacking, so you get value on the right units. Sometimes with Morello or Sunfire, it's just going to go on a unit that's not being hit, and it doesn't help you kill it as fast.
I mean, part of it might have been that Jinx was also just OP, but like Red buff was so good that like Red buff Jinx itself was already good enough to like carry you to a top 4. You didn't even need 3
Fair enough.
items on Jinx. It's that 3.
Yeah, it's because after
I-
Jinx
I-
got a kill rate, she like got more attack speed and more range, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, set 3
basically,
Jinx was pretty broken. But yeah.
yeah, you just like insta killed the frontliner, and then if your
Yeah.
ASOL hadn't stunned the entire board, Jinx just like basically Morello'd the entire enemy team because she had Blaster,
Yeah.
Blaster
She had
and
Blaster.
more attack speed.
Yep.
I like Rebels. When you think of like cool like comps with a cool idea, for me, I always think of, I mean, aside from like thinking like mech, I really think that Keepers and Rebels are a really interesting and fun comp that have a really good upside with with like a good downside of like clumping. But also there were way less AoE abilities back then. Way less. Like 6.5, like right now, how many AoE abilities there are. Like if you tried to put
Lot.
like a keeper style, and the keeper augment, I think I've taken it once and I got shrouded every turn and I
Yeah,
just went fucking fifth. So I think like it's like if there's not enough AoE, it's like an unbalanced idea. But if there's like a plethora of AoE, it's probably not even good enough. So maybe there's a sweet spot somewhere where that's like a viable idea to bring back in the future.
For sure.
ASOL was a really fun unit, I think. Like, I don't know about balance for him, but he was definitely like a cool unit.
Yeah.
The best part
It's
about
always
set
awesome.
3 and 3.5 is that all legendaries were broken.
Yeah, playing a legendary board felt so good.
The only weak one was Echo until 3.5, and then they reworked Echo, and then Echo was also really, really good.
Mhm.
But yeah.
He got mana back after killing stuff in 3.5, I think. So he would
That's-
like ult 2 or 3
He would
times.
the biggest it also he froze the heart at everybody he
Yeah.
hit. Everybody bonked, he froze the hearted.
Was that when Red Buff Echo was good as well?
Yeah,
Because it
you
replied
like sold
everything,
your
or-
illusion for the echo.
You sold your illusion for the Echo.
You rolled it. You rolled at 4-2. You leveled to 8 at 4-2 with 6 cybers, and you prayed to hit.
4-3,
Echo.
4-3. It was 4-3. It was
Oh, no,
a
it was
4-3 roll
4-3.
down. I
It
remember
was
it too
4-3.
well.
Yeah, you just
I'd
sold
be like
illusion and
40
fucking prayed.
HP, 4-3 roll, and be like, okay, we're chilling.
It was when Nico's Galaxy was a thing, right? So if you were playing Rebels, it was just who hits the first ASOL gets the win.
3.5 was just too fun. 3.5, too fun.
Agree.
Astro Snipers, Bard. 3.5 was sick.
Oh, I love that set, yeah.
Shout out to Bod.
Yeah.
And shout out to
I want that unit
Kaiser.
back.
Kaiser, 2-cost Kaiser was the most broken and fun unit in the entirety of set 3. It was so good. Mostly because you could get a fucking chase demo spat for free.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
god. Yeah, basically all the legendaries were broken. Like I was always under the impression that Thresh was like an underrated broken.
Wait, really?
legendary.
I love
Thresh-
Thresh. Thresh was
Wait,
too
I
fun.
thought Thresh was appropriately rated. Wait, what?
You think so?
Thresh is so
like,
good.
when you think
Yeah.
about it, it's not like in the first 3 you think about. I always think about GP, MF, and ASOL.
I mean, I guess I'll just say if you ask me what I remember at 3.5, I would answer like in terms of legendaries, I would answer Thresh pulling in Urgots.
True.
Ooh, that was
Ooh.
fun.
Like I think Thresh in 3 was not that good, but Thresh in 3.5, once he could pull an Urgot, holy.
And it gave him what, like
Holy.
70% mana or something immediately.
Yeah, so Thresh
and
Thresh
Urgot
2 would
insta
pull an
pull.
Urgot 1 and it would insta-cast. Holy.
Holy crap, that was something else. You give a blue buff, holy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I forget a lot about set 4 sometimes, but that was Lee Sin and set, right? Which was some of the
Yeah.
coolest.
Oh yeah,
Well, I think
set
four-
4 legendaries were so fun as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 4 still holds the title for having the most powerful legendaries, at least in my opinion. Like,
Is that
Yeah,
just
when-
because
when-
of Chosen, though, you think? I think that's just because of Chosen more than anything.
really, I disagree. I think that like at a baseline, 4 is like the most like 4 has the most like splashable and like powerful legendaries that they've ever printed. Like the set 4 legendaries are so flexible. Like Azir, Set, Dune, Zillion.
Billion. Yeah.
What am I missing? Like
The cap boards you can get in set 4
yeah.
were so good. Like
Yeah, Kane was the only one that wasn't as splashable because Kane you needed to hit early. But yeah, the set 4 legendaries were so splashable. Like set 4 doesn't even like you hit a legendary, chances are it's going on your board, and that was so good.
It was actually pretty similar in set 2, if I remember correctly. Like Singed was on every
Oh, yeah.
board. Amumu was basically on every you would get to level 8, you would roll your gold, and then it was like you would buy any Singed, any Taric, any Amumu, and you would just swap 3 units for those 3 at any time.
Fair.
Do you guys like that sort of gameplay where like there's units like Yumi, I guess is a really good example. Like you hit a Yumi, it can fit in no matter what you play.
I enjoy those metas.
As someone who abused Yumi for 3,000 plus LP, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I hated about Yumi as like a champion design, not to mention like its AoE stunning ability, I won't go like there, but the fun for legendaries for me comes from like, oh shit, like this unit just killed like 3 of my opponent's units with its big crazy ability. And I think that's why like set 3 and 4 were so enjoyable, because you had the legendary units be damage dealing units, where I think it's less impactful to have like, oh, I guess I just fit Yumi on my board now, and I
Free
stun the whole
Morello.
enemy team. Free.
It's a safe free Morello cast, yeah.
Yeah. I don't find that as enjoyable as like the set 3 or the set 4 legendary like archetypes. Like, oh man, it's really cool to like GP stuns the whole enemy board, like blows things up. Like MF
Who do we have
gets a
now that does that?
Victor. Oh, yeah,
for
Victor.
one patch in set 6, Kaiser did that.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
Well, Victor, when it was good, also did that. Like, but before he got nerfed, Victor also blew up whole boards.
Do you guys think Jinx is on the warming right now?
Yes.
Like,
No,
Oh.
I think she's okay. She's exactly just okay. She went from like trash.
I feel like
but she's
I haven't
okay.
tried it, but I want to try splashing AP on her rather than AD. Because I feel like when she's just sitting in the clump of everyone trying to auto shit to death, she's just gonna die. So maybe I want to see like more impact from like the explosion when she lands. I don't know.
I
I've never
agree
tried it.
completely. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd love for like more impact from that, and also like I would like more friendly fire damage. I think I've just forgotten about that. The fact that
Oh,
she
yeah.
damages
It
her
burns
own
and
team.
burns your units as well.
That
Right,
mechanic just
right.
did not work
Like,
out. That
I
mechanic
don't
did
even
not work out,
remember.
but yeah.
I don't even-
Yeah. It just feels like the initial damage, which feels like the whole point of the champion. It does like a jumps up into the air, big explosion of
Yeah.
damage. It just feels
It
so
does nothing.
underwhelming. It was cool if it did like huge damage and was also a really big risk because it could really hurt your team. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I actually think 6 scrap's pretty good. I know we said we're not going to talk about TFT, but I actually think 6 scrap is really good right now. Like 4 scrap mid game is actually a really, really good board, and you can transition it
Yeah.
really easily, because there's a lot of there's like additional scrap unit. There's like on every tier there's a really good scrap augment available to you at the moment. Like things like backfoot, anything that buff shields, any additional scraps is also really good as well, like scrap heart, scrap whatever. I've played a couple of 6 scrap games. The problem is that I don't even know if this is true, but for some reason Jinx just changes targets like every second auto.
No, that's intentional.
It's intentional.
That's
it
intended.
changes.
No, that's intentional. That's intentional. So they changed the targeting AI. Jinx fires randomly now.
No, fuck
So it's
that.
actually a buff.
I actually thought it
It's
was
actually a buff.
No, it
No,
like
no,
ruins
it's-
fights.
yeah,
It
yeah.
ruins fights. I'm telling you right now.
No,
as someone who's played a bunch of
it's
Suicide.
definitely no. Hold on a second. It's
No, it's
definitely a buff. No, it's definitely a buff because her previous AI would prioritize tanks first. So now your Jinx actually gets to hit backliners. There's no way you want your Jinx to just fire at a frontliner. It's
No,
way
my
better.
Jinx has never
Trust.
killed a
No,
backliner its entire life, dude.
It's
Never.
way better. Well, you know, maybe you should just get
It's
lucky.
just fucking
I'm
PG.
telling you,
It's
AP Jinx. AP Jinx is the way to go. No,
Yep. I agree.
just play
Yep.
AP Jinx. We ain't Untitled written on this.
I think that was what early set 6, right? Yeah, AP Jinx was more common early set 6 when it was like IE
Oh, I don't know.
IE
that's
Gauntlets.
true.
Yeah, IEJG Hodge, I think, or something like that.
I thought
Was
early
like really
sets-
good.
I thought the early sets this AD Jinx was just good. I don't know.
I think Jinx was
remember-
just better altogether. Early set 6.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they gutted that unit to the ground
I actually
after
got
like
that, you know. Yeah.
every time that you saw it on the Chemtech board.
They,
It's like, okay,
they nerfed the HP and then they nerfed the attack speed, and that was like 2 really
Yep.
big things.
now it's garbage. Anyway,
Okay, it's definitely not garbage. Everyone keeps saying Jinx is garbage right now. She's definitely not garbage. I'm trying to defend Jinx here. She's definitely not that bad.
I'm with you, Cutler, on the scrap comps. I think like 4 scrap, 3 socialite Aurelia is my favorite comp right now.
I just
Yeah,
love
it's
3
really
social
cool.
early. I'll play that shit
But I
with
would never
anything.
transfer the items off to Jinx at the moment. It's just ints.
I think the awkward part, right, and I've complained about this a lot on stream. The awkward part is that you can't play Jinx and Vi on the same board. And I think it's Vi's getting nerfed again, so there's a good chance she falls out of the meta. But up until now, the Bruiser frontline has been so flexible that you're always playing Vi. So it's almost been impossible to fit Jinx in your board. It's like that more than Jinx being bad. It's just like it's impossible to pivot out of Bruisers, if that makes sense.
Do you think with the traits that Vi has that she can even be pushed out of the meta? Like half the time she's just your end game innovator tank because of Jace.
Yeah. Well, it's hard for her to ever be that bad, right? Her tags are just so good. Yeah, it's hard for her to ever be that bad. For sure.
Yeah. I think when I saw Vi and Sedge in PvE, I thought there's like no way that these two units are just like playing nearly
Never
equal.
played together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean, that's how it gained all the. That's how it gained so much LP on like the first patch of the set was just playing Bruiser Frontlines. Because Vi and Sedge were like just so broken.
Yep.
So good.
we talked about this last week on the podcast after Soul left, but Mort basically said that their first choice when seeing that they knew Sedge was going to be too overpowered was seeing if they could give Blitzcrank clockwork to make up for it. Because they wanted
Even
more
then.
they wanted more 2 costs with 3 traits to be like splashable good units basically.
Well, I don't mind 2 cost 3s. I mean, what they're doing now is a lot better, where they're making it so that the units themselves are weaker. I think that's a much healthier direction. I mean, I personally really like the flexibility of 3 traded 2 costs. But yeah.
Agreed.
Mhm.
I wish they were a little bit more niche though. Like Skirmisher Aurelia was a
Oh,
bit,
I
like-
love that unit so much.
obviously that unit was so fucking broken
Whoa.
and so good, but like it had the
Mm.
3 best it had the 3 best traits of the entire set, like all together.
I think I remember playing Irelia like set 5.5, and so many times I'm just like, wait, she's also a Legion now. Why? She's also randomly a Legion now. In addition to being Skirm Sentinel, she's also randomly a Legion now.
She was the best unit on basically every board. Every good
Yeah.
like late game board. She was in Lucian, she was played in like Callista reroll. It was like Jax, she was like the tank in Jax comps, aside from the Ironclads.
Rocka reroll.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the Rocker
Rocker
reroll, Riven reroll, Draven. Holy
remember
fuck,
that set.
unit's too broken.
Yeah.
Remember just wanting to like wanting to improve in that set, wanting to like play flexible, play better, and just every time I see Aurelia, it's like, well, I can't. I have to play this unit.
For sure.
No, but your out was flexible if you had an Irelia on your board.
Yeah.
Like on your roll down, you'd be like, oh, Draven, guess I'm playing Draven. Oh, Jax. Because like the Irelia would fit in no matter what anyway. I guess.
I mean,
I don't-
I guess there was Renunu. That was the better call.
I
No.
loved Renunu, dude. Untied used to be obsessed with Renunu.
Yeah.
He
I
used
think
to
I got
make me
I
play
got
it.
Cutler to play it. I think I got you to play it once, Soul.
Oh yeah,
I played a couple games with
I think
Renunu.
I think I got everyone to play it.
I think I hit the 6 Renunu dream, and it was the first.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. We got a couple more of these.
Okay.
I can't read them all, guys. I'm so sorry. So there's like 15 more. I'm gonna do like one or two more.
Okay.
Some quick fire rounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one big one because this was actually Vince who got back to me like first, basically. I left him to last. I thought it was gonna be it's a really nice one to end on, I think. Vince's best moment in TFT was hosting his Vincia tournament. I thought that was it was really enjoyable to watch as someone that was like new and up and coming. And the nail biting moments between all the OC SEA top players in that event, which was also great. He also says that he used to hang out with Dibby, and they used to play in Discord with Razza all the time together, just playing games over and over again, just hanging out. And I thought that was a really nice one. I thought that was quite a good indication of like another like a similar style of community that existed before this one did, where there were people that would just hang out in Discord calls and spend some time together. Really cool. Thanks so much for that one, Vince.
Hell yeah.
Oh, if you guys didn't know, you guys have a Vince's Gauntlet veteran and participant on your podcast right now. I
Damn.
played in that shit.
Oh shit.
Let's fucking
Yeah,
go. All right,
I
give us
was
a
a
recap.
participant.
Let's give us a fucking recap. Go on.
That was probably the sweatiest tournament I've ever played. Now, granted, I haven't played a lot of tournaments, but that was the sweatiest one I have ever played. All of the you guys see the ladder, like Jose, Keith, Troxy, Araye. Those are like, oh man, there's so many names that I remember were there, and it was just so hard. I felt myself like the pressure of like having to play in like a super competitive setting was like insane. It was such a fun experience. what was it? I went so top 8 made it to day 2 out of like 16. I was like 10th. I didn't make it to day 2, but like I was very close. I was like 2 points off. Yep. That was I was flexing Draven every game, and Araya won that tournament, and he was a fellow Draven player.
Let's go.
So every time I saw Araya in my lobby, I'd be like, "Ah, fuck, I'm contested on the." Oh, if you guys, I'm contested. That was the patch where it was the meta where you have to roll at 4-1. Like you go 7-4-1, you roll all your gold and you pray for like a 2-star
Right.
forecast. You pray for Mord, like the comps were Mord, Vel'Koz, Draven. Oh, that was the one where skirmisher, 6 skirmisher Jax was like super broken that.
Oh,
that-
this is the skirm patch. Is this,
yeah, this is the
patch
skirm patch.
where you can play
Where you,
3
like,
one-star
pray for
skirms
Jax.
and just win
Yes.
every round? Yeah, I
Yes.
remember that. Holy
So,
crap. Yeah, I remember.
Everyone was literally rolling at
Yeah.
7. I was just PD.
Yeah. I remember
Roll
when
on-
you hit Lee Sin Pantheon off box and you already know it's the first.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
If I
roll on
jacked
7
at
and pray. That's still how I play.
Wait, you're not supposed to have 0 gold at 4-1 with a shit board?
Yep. That patch
I don't
that
know.
tournament was just too fun. I don't know.
It's a good memory.
For sure.
Oh, guys, I mean, we've done a lot of OC, SEA, tournament, best friends, reminiscing. Anybody out there in the chat right now, it's a good chance if you've got any questions or special moments that you want to share, please let us know. We've been going for an hour and a half. I've only had 2 drinks, but I cannot drink like I used to, so I'm feeling a bit tipsy already. So we are getting to the stage where this podcast is going to start devolving very quickly because I will no longer be able to control anything going on right now. So if you've got anything going on in the chat, if you want to chat to us, please let us know, because this is really the sort of big things that we wanted to discuss, and we're just going to hang out for a little bit, I think. Penny says, untied Shigers. Untied, how do you respond?
Shigers. I that's all I can say.
I might cut this out of the audio of the episode.
Untied Shane when?
Oh.
The man's like underwater right now. Don't like.
Yeah, but future plans. Once he's no longer underwater.
What a beautiful community for a shitty
Is it a
game.
shitty game?
True.
Yep.
We're pleased to have got to know all of you guys. If you are listening at this point, it's obviously big thanks to everybody. It's been really nice having you here. I'd like to extend a big thanks to Viagra for joining us today, first of all. Carlos, what have you got coming up? Anything exciting?
Dude, nah, probably not, because like I don't know if I don't think I only announced it on Twitter, but like I started a new job, so like I probably won't be streaming for the next couple of months because of like the probation period. So like I said, I'll just see you guys on ladder. So sadly, that's like the big announcement that I have. Sad, no streams for 2-3 more
Sad.
months.
It's okay.
So we booked a guy that doesn't stream and a guy that's about to stop streaming on the episode.
I'll start streaming. I'll take Carl's
Take it
place.
over. Okay, guys.
Yeah,
let's go.
take my like DGen hour, not DGen, but like take my time slot.
Okay, yeah.
You're like the pre-Degen hour slot,
Yeah. I used to stream like for the OCE DGen because like for me I'd start streaming at like 10, which is like 12 midnight for you guys. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty
No,
DGen.
I remember those streams. Those were good times. Yeah.
I stream in the mornings. So none of you are awake, so it doesn't matter.
I'm there. I'm usually there on
Yeah,
your
you're
morning
usually
stream.
there. That's true.
There's like a 50-50 chance that I am awake for anyone here's stream.
Jacob's either been up for like 75 hours or he's been asleep for 75 hours. There's no in between. It's So in between, it's like, oh hey man, where have you been? He's like, oh, I've been asleep since Monday.
Yeah, that's it.
Sounds good.
Yep.
I'll start streaming, but I'm just gonna go live at random times throughout the day.
Alex.
You stream from 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. and then take a break, like go to bed
Yeah.
and start streaming from midday again.
I can't believe I've got no viewers at 3 a.m. What's going on? Where's everyone?
I wonder why.
That's the American time slot.
Yep.
Untied. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed yourself because this is kind of a first for you. I think getting your cam out there was people put a face to the name.
Yeah, it's been really good. I was a bit rushed and worried that I wasn't going to be able to do this with the internet dropping out. So it's good that it's been working. And yeah, couldn't have asked for a better group of guys to do my first stream with. Coming on stream, first time coming on stream.
I've left him for last this time because I want him to have the final word today, and that is my friend, my co-host and lovely man Soul. Thank you as always for being by my side every week doing this fucking dumb podcast.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's always an absolute pleasure to be here, and I mean, to see how far we've come, especially like from like how it even started, has just been really surreal. Is that the right word? I don't know. It's been really cool. And I mean, with all the guests that we have coming up, it's gonna be really exciting. Really exciting whole year to come as well. So there's still so much more to like do, like so many more people to meet, and yeah, really good.
Guys, usually I would suggest that you stick around for the post show so you can hear everybody, the next guest, but we've already announced it. It's already well known who's coming on the podcast for the next couple of weeks. If you did miss it, however, we do have Asa, who is the NA Challenger Series most recent Challenger Series winner. He won the most recent something tournament, Innovator Cup. Is that right? I'll figure it out before next week. Don't fucking
We
look at
clearly
me.
do our research.
I'll do my
we clearly
research
do our
sometime
research.
between now and next week. I have a whole week to prepare for this stuff.
Oh.
Oh god, sorry Asa. I promise I know who you are. Asa doesn't know who I am, so it doesn't
It's
matter.
okay. I know who Acer is. That's all.
He's
that
also a
matters, okay?
poker expert, so we're
Yeah,
gonna
he's a
talk
poker legend, right? Yeah.
we're gonna
He's a
talk a lot
poker
about
pro, yeah.
talk a lot about poker probability and how that translates to TFT. We're gonna nerd out on the statistics a little bit. which would
TFT
be
math episode.
TFT math. Yeah, we're going from
TFT
TFT
math.
drunk episode to TFT math episode. You guys get everything in this podcast. And then, of course, after the Asa episode, we have. Fuck, man. What do you even say? Is it the biggest guest we can possibly book? I mean, it's definitely one of them. I mean, aside from our lovely co-host and guest that I have on today, I think it's like the best possible outcome. We have Mismatched Socks coming on the podcast.
Sir.
TFT
So
Augers.
legend.
He has a game now.
He has a
he has his
game.
own
He's
game.
working on a game.
Wait, he has his own game?
We're gonna
Wait, I
ask
didn't
him.
know this.
We're gonna ask
Big
him
fan.
about his new game. We're not gonna keep him too young
Yeah.
because he's a young man with a young family and he's working on a game. So that might be a short episode, but geez, man, we got some good stuff coming up. And after that, we've got Crowan, who will be coming on. We don't have a date set for that one yet. We do have a very exciting episode with Crowan, though, the TFT expert caster. And that will be right on the heels of regionals as well. That'll be right before the regional finals. And I mean, we have 2 guests booked after that, but you guys are going to have to wait a couple of weeks for those ones. I'm sorry. But we got some pretty good guests coming up as well. So, uh-oh. Soul's gone. This is like last week.
My bad.
My
Back.
bad. He's back.
My bad. Mistakes were made. We are back.
Mistakes were made.
Don't worry about it. We're back.
Guys, I
I bet-
fucked up.
Chill. Okay, I just misclicked.
Yeah, so we do have the next 6 weeks all booked out, which is pretty ridiculous. I mean, There have been points where we weren't even sure if we were going to have a guest. There was like 4 weeks when we didn't have a guest. So to have sort of 7 or 8 episodes in a row with special guests from all over the place is a great feeling. Viagra, you're not going to be streaming
Yes.
as much, but please tell everybody where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Twitch, Twitter, IG, same IGN, Viagra. So come give me a follow, I guess, for sure. I tweet random shit. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna be tweeting now that I'm not gonna be using Twitter to like announce my streams, but you guys can give me a follow there for sure.
Hey guys, just got to the office, bought a bagel. Looks pretty good. Untied. Thank you very much as a guest for being on the episode. Where can people find you?
Go sub to Viagra, Soul, and Color, and I'll be in the chats. That's where you can find me.
You fucking hear that, guys? You fucking hear that? Fucking sub to Viagra, Cutler, and Soul, please. Please, we're fucking desperate. Guys, please, we're so desperate. Well, maybe not. I think we'll be okay. Thank you, Untied. My co-host, Soul, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitch, Sol_TFT. I have a Twitter that's the same handle that I used to use a lot for announcements, but haven't used that in a while. But I do have an actual I'll talk. I do have an actual schedule now that I've been sticking to. So you can find anyone interested in check out my stream. You can find me on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 9 p.m. onwards. AEDT. So that's like Sydney time. Yeah.
You guys, if you're listening to this live, thank you very much. You've obviously found me at twitch.tv/Cutler with a 3 instead of the E. You can also find me at CutlerTFT on Twitter. I post about TFT. I've started adding more educational content to my Twitter because I would really like to help new players and players who are looking to improve at the game. So I posted a big thread about going from 0 LP Masters to 200 LP Grandmasters in 6 games and what I learned from that on a patch. I'll try and do that as much as possible. If you like that stuff, join our Discord, follow Soul on Twitch, follow Viagra on Twitch, follow Untied on Twitter. And guys, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for listening to the roll down from all of us. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next